Good morning, everybody. Tonight we're going to stream the first year anniversary of Stormbound. And, well, today I brought some new colleagues with me. And some colleagues you already knew from the previous stream from the tournament. So, well, basically what we are going to do tonight is have a small tournament with the four of us. We will do single elimination. And we all face each other once till the finals. And, well, let me introduce everyone. Or they can let introduce.
No, I want you to introduce me.
This is Mr.
You promised.
This is Mr. Arano, also known as
Jens, right?
as Jens, the designer of Stormbound. So please feel free to harass him during the stream. You're always welcome. No, don't harass him.
No.
He will. He's always doing his best, and he knows quite a lot about everything.
Yeah, it's Stormbound, yes.
It's Stormbound. Yeah, just like
No one
so
related
much
at all.
wisdom. And on the others, or same side, in the back is Julia. She will also complete in the tournament. She just started at Paladin Studios, and well, let's see how good she will be. Good she. And she will beat us all. On the left side we have Arjan, co-caster, who will also participate in the tournament today, and will be casting some of the streams as well. And then we have the runner-up from the previous tournament.
Second best player.
Second best player. He beat no
Silver
one but
medal.
himself. Silver medal. Second prize money. That's Stijn number 6. So you can maybe upgrade your name to Stijn 2 if you want to.
Stijn 7.
Stijn 7. So let's see. And well, I will also participate today. That will be fun.
You're going against me.
Yeah, I will start the match
Mr.
against.
Loudmouth.
What? I need to be loud, right? So, alright. Let's go into the deck lists.
Let's go a little bit into the team we have for the decks.
Yeah, that might also be a good.
Or you're completely surprised by the amazing decks these guys have built.
Yeah, true words.
Masterpiece.
We all made one masterpiece deck, and there are some balance changes coming in, so we try to include one of those cards as well into our decks. And we had a limitation that we could only use 2 unit types. So basically we can use knights and satire or undead and toads or whatever we liked, and we can use we could use spells and structures, whatever we want it to be. And yeah, I think that is most of it, our deck limitations. So we'll start with Ricky. And yeah, I think that was it, right? There wasn't much more.
Everyone has picked one kingdom.
Yeah,
4
true.
different kingdoms.
Julia has the Swarm Kingdom, Arjan or Ceesharp has the Shadowfun Kingdom, Stijn is gonna do his favorite kingdom, that's the Ironclad, and I
Undefeated.
drew the shortest straw, undefeated. I drew the short straw and played Winter Pact, so I'm gonna crush them all. Some gift of the wise
That's cool.
The new
brownness.
version. That's
That's so cool.
Yep.
also good to notice, by the way, is that everything played on level 5 this time.
Oh, true.
Not so
So
bad.
yeah, no level 1 decks anymore. So we're gonna cross each other with the highest levels. Because yeah, you don't see that often. Even on Diamond Rank 1 you don't see that often. People fighting with maxed out decks. So it'll be
20
interesting.
HP, right?
20 HP as well. So hopefully the matches will take like 40 minutes each. And then we will be at home at 2 at night. Never lucky. Yeah. For the chat, guys, if anything isn't unclear or we need to talk louder or someone just dropped or flew out of his chair or whatever, please say like talk louder, get back into your chair because I don't know where people are casting from, stop being invisible or whatever. Feel free to give us updates on that part. I think then Stijn and I will start sitting somewhere hidden, and we'll.
There was a very enthusiastic fan out there.
Yeah. We even got fans outside of the office. They are just like want to participate. I think they are ravens. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a raven who just wants to pick your eyeballs. Burn!
Instead of friends.
Maybe.
Very nice.
Cool.
So shiny. Right?
Yes.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
So let's move.
Okay, like
Better,
2 minutes.
by the way.
Yeah, we need to press some magical buttons.
That's you guys then.
Right. I'm not on the control, so I'll also a bit explain. You can just go to the 2 players. And once the match is over, return back to the deck list. Yeah.
Okay.
And set up during the stream the names and
Right.
Enjoy this if you want to. You don't have to.
Ready. And you as well?
Stein.
Uh-huh.
So it's Stein versus Martijn. Stein versus Stein, I guess. Yes. No idea where that number comes from, but maybe it's what we can ask him. Ooh. Let's. Oh, we should still be.
And we're in the match.
Go.
So, in screen we see MKM playing with Winter Pact. Top is Stein Ironclad. And
Already
they're
friendly, waving at each other.
they're starting
So
out
polite.
friendly.
Let's see how it ends, though. So we can see Stein is playing a combination of constructs and knights. Choice.
Construct. Oh, I do see that there's some synergy and they can buff each other.
Especially if you know the opponent only has 2 different unit types. A card like Beast of Terror can be can be very, very strong.
Yeah, definitely.
With Terrific Slayers, let's see if you can get enough dragons to beat. In this case, he's lucky because MKM seems to have a dragon deck, at least some dragons.
So he's already anticipating that Stein is gonna robots. He's locked Stein into.
See where these decks will be going.
You
So,
can
yeah.
actually already see some knowledge.
The new Gift of the Wise.
Mhm.
For those who don't know, it's gonna remain at 7 mana, so no longer a cheap card for the early game. But it will, the boost is increased, especially at level 5. It will give 12 mana, I believe. I still have to get used to the new values actually. And it will draw a card. It's not going to save it for turn 7. And I think these decks might even have been made before the balance changes were live. So live. Just by the way, to clarify, the changes aren't live yet. They will be tomorrow. You might have seen the maintenance already. But we're playing on our own test environment, which will allow us to already play with these changes and also allow us to get level 5 cards easy. Because then we can just cheat and get all the cards and you know.
They keep waving at each
He's-
other.
I think he's taunting him.
Wait, what? Oh, okay, it was like.
Mhm.
Put him under a lot of pressure already.
Yeah, that's a lot of robots. A lot of strength on the board as well.
Boosting Elixir in his hand. It can be Integra's any value at this point. Could go. Freezing can be very strong against a board already. Cross-axis combination.
He does have a few options.
Does he go?
I think now is a good point.
Yes. And it makes sense that he keeps the strongest one alive with still ready in his hand.
Yeah.
Always weaken it.
I think at level 5 lowers card to 1 strength.
Yes. Anything would do it at that point.
That's quite painful to lose just strength.
This turn also Ceesharp very strong.
Oh yeah, and on level 5 it's actually
It's just so easy. So confinement, I can't imagine him not using confinement, but the rest always gonna be awkward.
yeah. Make have a but
Be a much better one, or does he want to fit for Sivana? It's 8 max, but that's going to be hard.
8 strength.
8 strength max, what it destroys.
Yeah. Definitely.
On his deck he's using.
I think he should. Diamond. Why does he?
I wonder. Oh.
Now he's. I think he's hoping for.
Possibly. It's also nice how we circumvent the units having a summon militia in his deck. It's like, I'm not allowed to use knights, but summon militia as a spell. Very smart. And cheap. So it can be hard to, especially if you can only pick from 2 different races, unit types. It can be hard to get something very strong, very cheap.
That's very.
So I do think that's a very good card to have in a deck like this.
I mean, very limited basically. But every deck does have options on a cost.
Trade 5 for 5. That's just hard.
He's just
Linked golems is
spamming the board with robots.
almost wonder why he picked knights. I mean, could have just been robots, I think.
Yeah.
First time.
Robots, yeah. Well, they are bros.
Yeah, we often call them robots, but though we use the constructs normally, but sorry if you used them in between.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it looks robot. Yes, Fidget, these are the new balance changes. They're already in, at least there are our test environments, so we're not playing on live now, playing on our own internal server with the latest changes.
Is this still subject to change? Are these set in stone balance change?
Nothing is set in stone, but this will likely be the set that will go live tomorrow. So tomorrow is the maintenance. It's tomorrow our time, depending on where you're watching. But then the changes should go live.
Oh, that's cool.
Together with all the others. First base damage is dealt, by the way.
They start with 20 base health, so they have a lot to. I'm curious if Cam is still able to. Yeah.
Have the best hand at the moment, though. All his cards are very reactive. Phoenix, I mean, you can place it against the base, it's not gonna respawn. Debug loggers gonna trigger because, well, there's nothing to attack. Let's see. So this could be a turn where we see the new Gift of the Wise in action. Oh, it's giving a lot of mana. Are these the cards you were hoping for? I wouldn't say so.
That's some Jedi magic there. These are not the cards you're hoping for.
He needs a good freeze deck, and Sivana freezing everything in front of her. There's nothing in front. There's nothing to do with it. It's just an awkward hand.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure, and now time
Should
is
just recycle. Cycle.
time is ticking.
Yep.
No, that's
the card.
but how good is it? Freeze it. One thing.
Better than nothing.
That's true. That's for sure. Stop some damage, some future positioning.
Oh yeah.
Stein.
Yeah, and this actually. Yeah, he could have placed Savannah on the second row, but now he actually plays Frost Taxers.
It's Victors of the Mutilated. Get insane value on this board. Okay.
Yep.
Though he has to
No.
be careful because
No.
he kills the Dragonlings.
It will kill the Dragonlings
Yeah.
first and buff Savannah.
Good one though. Keep the enemy. He can't place anywhere else anymore. He can even play Confinement just to be sure. Why wouldn't you play it? Or extra pressure with this. Gives one
Well,
extra damage destructor bot, so it'll be
yeah.
fine.
Might be painful. I mean,
Ow.
he's just going to block his base. Oh,
Yeah, but he will move
he
forward.
didn't have enough mana.
There's one open spot, and Frost Taxes can actually
He can
stop
use-
the entire row again. Frost Taxes with surrounding can stop all three.
Yeah. Just the possibility to clear the board right. You can.
So
And Stein didn't deal any base damage, so we're pretty much on even ground now.
yeah, and he needs to rebuild online forward again. And Knights, well, does he have any 2 movement? Like Slayers? Yes? But it's the only way to get forward fast. He doesn't have it. He's still a strong board though.
Yeah, it's like
But
one turn has been over and he already has more than 3.
yeah, we use those magical Pokemon names in our
Oh yeah,
devices, if
Or-
you're wondering.
yeah. Our test devices do all have Pokemon names, and it's not actually. I don't think we are updating the bot AI.
Yeah, I have no idea what the code is on our test server. I have no idea how it works. Not technical enough to know that. It just works. It's just for our internal testing. So the load is so low that it just does anything without an issue.
Mm.
Like no special AI, nothing. Well, then you won't see it here in these versions of the game. But it does allow us to easily cheat and change the game so we can just test a lot easier than we would be able to do so on a regular live server where we clarify cheats are even disabled, so even we can cheat there. We have our own tools, but
Oh, yeah. The test server is not next to the water cooler. It is actually it is actually a cloud platform. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to name the platform. Yeah, it is like an Amazon.
smart Phoenix there.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely going to respawn.
Perfect location to respawn in this case, but 70 mana. A lot. Notice that the later in the game you are with the new Gift of the Wise, the more units you can now play. Um,
But
Patrol decks, we like some really good big turns there.
finally getting to see Savannah in action.
Yeah. Oh. Magic going on there.
iPad magic.
Yeah. That's
And we have a
well,
crying
Wittgenstein
robot.
has a Bladestorm ready, so that's actually against Ludic. Saying that
The 80 HP base bug.
88.
Oh.
No. The 88 HP bug. That's actually because the HP never gets set, and our default debug value is 8, just to see if that fits nicely in the device slot. So
It's the number that takes the most space, so that's always our default number. Or if you do something with 4 digits, we do 4 8s, because just to see how much space does it take.
yeah, it is funny though, because like a lot of people think that the 88 bug is just like, oh, my enemy is powerful, but that's definitely not the case. It's also not a value that is by us.
No, it's just it could at worst be a visual bug if you relock. Act. Show the proper number.
Oh yeah, you can rejoin a match if you don't have a bad startup time. Rejoin the device properly.
And Cam seems to have a very good board clear. A lot of cards from the Jaguar is a good finishing card, so I wonder if he's going to play it now to goes to do his first. Looks like it. I think it's Jaguar. Possible spamming the board with Ludic, but that's not doesn't seem to be a very valid option playing against a Bladestorm.
Service lets you log in fast enough before Swarm wins. Well, we do have the turn timer though. Like the game doesn't advance, don't end your turn, so you do have a bit of slack there, just a bit.
Nice that Stein has a deck that's very good against dragons,
Yeah,
but I don't think MCAM has enough dragons to be worthy of countering at this point, because there is no dangerous suitors deck. So that's something many dragon decks does
Yeah.
not.
yeah. In dangerous suitors is definitely.
Yeah, and in this case, it's a good card. If it gets the max value out of its mana cases.
I agree with Twitch Fidget chat. Turn timer doesn't account for times, so it can be painful basically. You agree? Like,
Maybe it can-
if there's a lot of units on the board, it can take a lot of time. Thanks, guy.
also get the question, why are the card levels so varied? Well, all the card levels should be level 5, I believe.
Well, if you look at the deck list,
The deck lists are very inconsistent, I think.
yeah,
Because I think you made the screenshots before we set all the cards to level.
no, I actually made the screenshots from my live account, so these are all my cards actually.
Verify the number of sides are correct, but game everything for confusion.
Oh, apparently the microphone of words. Not aware of.
Oh, let's check it out then. Try to pay attention. Or if MKM is back, he's the streamer of us.
Yeah.
Maybe he knows more.
Yeah, we should test that microphone.
Had some issues before we started the stream. But might have to do. We had issues with the microphone as well.
Yeah. Well, maybe if we just keep on talking without interruption, then it will just work.
Otherwise, we hope you enjoy the plays they make. It's good to see how Stein can keep the pressure on, even though we're losing quite heavily in the game. But can keep the pressure on. Can't go full offensive. All this
Magic
magic.
again.
Dagger into the base.
Dagger.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
Wow,
lucky. That is lucky.
Back from this. Now he can probably remove your elixir. I think that will get much value on the board. Normally expect to fill the board as much as you can. Try to keep something on the board and build up as fast as he can again.
Yeah, that's what Ironclad is about. Buffing up your unit.
Cam seems to have issues with his power, so before he he's winning, and I guess this is to make sure he's not going to lose by disconnecting. Because we would count it as a loss. The anniversary update already has all the latest changes. Has all the changes. See them now. So this version that we're playing on now, tomorrow we'll do a push, and we push this version that you see right now, push it live, so you will play on that's what we're playing on now. Other than cheats are disabled, which is something that's unrelated from updates anyway. Yeah, all these changes will go live tomorrow together with the event. That's will last until the end of the month, which will daily rewards. At least once a day. Select those. Say what they are. See that effect. It's a lot of dragons.
Yeah.
A lot to kill with Bladestorm.
Yeah, well, this is a good chance to play Storm.
Danny.
Will he though?
Yeah, MCAM is always roping. We hear excuses in the back, but yes, he's always roping, that's true. And often he blames streaming, but even if he's not streaming like now, he's still slow. But he's winning, so I can't blame him.
That's why.
Yeah, Freeze. Freeze is a deck that can be very slow to play against.
Going to nerf.
Not in this update. Every update is always need to see how the meta is going to behave after all the changes. Confinement at the moment, good spot. Then, yeah, magic keeps coming. Magic is confinement is a very good tool to make sure that we have some stronger cards. They rhyme, for example, they can get very, very strong. Always have a way to deal with them if you have to in your deck, of course. That's about winter. They can deal with it their own way by just freezing them forever and ever. So for now, nothing is planned with confinement. Was a change planned, but we disregarded that. Actually, a small bit lower levels. Like to very away from.
Needs to. He needs to defend his or base health.
That is true. Probably needs to keep the distance from a nation with Igor, whatever you want to call him. Sometimes we get the questions like, how do you pronounce a certain name? We
Yeah.
often pronounce it in Dutch because we are Dutch. Accents. Oh, we are Dutch. Yeah.
I'm not.
Julia isn't. So yeah, I think call it Tagore or Tagore. Honestly, I don't mind, or whatever you call it.
Tagore. I'm saying
I
Tagore.
normally I said Tagore as well.
Yeah.
Savannah, I think.
Savannah?
You do it a bit fancier.
Yeah, I am fancy. We have Ubas, of course.
Yeah, Ubas. Yeah, we all call it Ubas.
Yeah.
Got it.
Collector Mertz.
Toad. Toad is just a toad. It's
Yeah.
not toad-a. Oh, and it's a male, by the way.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it was
Oh.
it's a great discussion on the forums. There was a discussion about whether Toad is a male or female. Both. I like it if you think he.
Non-binary.
Is he gender fluid?
Exactly. So by design, it's a male, but either as long as we don't specify, I guess we can always change our minds, which is perfect. But we always like to keep things as open as we can, so you can.
Ambiguous.
Yeah, so you can just interpret it any way you like it yourself, because yeah, we think that creates the best world. The same with the lore. I mean, we have a lot of stories in our mind. There's a lot of the cards are like this for a reason, but we also try not to explain everything because it keeps a lot open for interpretation. Want the game to be about the combat, about the story. A big campaign would have done it, but interesting setup, by the way, on the board. Nice diamond pattern. Almost like he's waiting for a victors of the melee there.
Oh, by the way, this might be nice to point out. Like you were talking about the world and how people interpret it. Like we really like the fan art. Actually, we share it inside of the company. We show it off to everyone, and I put every fan art, put it as my desktop background. Rotates between all the fan art.
Really like the cool thread on the forums as well about someone who has very good, very nice ideas for cards, and he also makes his own card art. It's a really cool thread to. And I think also it was the comic, right? We shared with the entire comic.
It was a.
There is a comic.
It was a manga.
Yeah, the manga.
To be specific.
I'm sorry if I forgot the player's name who made it, but really nice job. Really good.
Because I'm really interested.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. But there was also putting them in slides so we could just see them next to each other, so you have a comic book version of it. Really cool.
Ooh.
What is that?
Go back into the match.
Oh, we're actually casting. Oh.
We see Ironclad on the winning side.
Yeah, he managed to create a lot of value, especially with his phoenixes. By creating his phoenixes in such a way that he generates more value every time. He can actually create more and more board control. And as long as MCAM can keep clearing them. Yeah. Also, it's good to have them in the middle of the board in this, because it means it's hard for a unit like Tagor to pass and do the final bit of damage. Most people are aware, but someone's still wondering, Tagor, it does random damage, or random heal, or random bomb.
Yeah.
Or does it deal base damage? No, basically, we had to keep the ability short. It gives strength to a unit, it spawns a unit, or it deals damage to a unit.
Oh yeah, and the base isn't the unit.
Base is the unit, so it can't do base damage.
Okay.
Same that it can't give strength to its own base.
Yeah, you can't heal. Because your base is.
Always try to do something. So if there is no friendly unit on the board, it will not do a heal. It will do one of the other two, assuming they are possible. So it will do one of the possible options. So Fidget is asking a lot of questions, which is good. Thank you for your participation. We'll just go into it because we have the time while watching the match, watching the third Phoenix and the fourth.
Oh my god.
That's a very good card. Oh, and look, and that's another nice thing about Perfect Slayers. Yeah, 1 mana more than, for example, Warfront Runners, but it is a good finisher. It deals 5 more damage. And I think it's one of his other win conditions in his deck. So our conflicted Drake's supposed to be a mini Ubas. No, and I don't think there are really mini Ubas, unless you're talking about the values it has or will have. After you've seen the latest change, it will do more damage at higher levels. But no, it's not supposed to be a mini Ubas. But most abilities we try to level from either 1 to 2, because that's doubling the damage. Try to go ×2. But in some cases we notice that some abilities, when they go up, even though they double in value, they don't double in efficiency. So in some cards we see that going ×3 on the ability, well, effectively ×2 or ×2.5, let's say, like that. So for example, when we looked at Ubas, we also looked at what he did at that point. We compared him with the old Ubas and the new one, and actually making him 2 strength at max would have really been devastating for that card. Because you have to imagine that because the enemy units don't count anymore, dealing damage, took up so much of his potential. Ubas is meant as a finishing card, as a card that you can use to deal damage, to finish a game. So that's why also, for example, now we decided to nerf him not by reducing his damage. It is a way to finish the game. For those for a few of us who have played the game in the beta, or like us during development, without those bit of damage, the game can become very long. It's already a long game, as you might see. But it's also because they both play very control-like. But otherwise, the match would last a long time.
Well, that ties into the other question, the bigger board sizes.
Well, we define long. I think we have had matches where we see 30 or 40 mana. And we define that as long. I think 20 mana we also call long, but that's like acceptably long.
Yeah, that's something that we calculate.
Yeah, because there's also shorter matches, but past that point, I think 10 mana. We hear a lot of laughter in the back, so it's great.
Yeah. This game drags a bit on.
Yeah. Yeah, but so it seems like they're even testing the game where you're like, oh, I see a bug, I see a bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, happen.
Oh.
Why is the base not considered a structure? Well, just for clarity. Otherwise, it would have changed a lot of cards. So a lot of cards really specify why they are structure or a base, because we have a buffing a structure for that gives strength to a structure.
Yep.
If that would have been the base 2, things would have been different. Defeated.
Oh.
MCAM wins after all.
Indeed, yo.
After a lot of laughter in the
wait.
corner.
We're going back to the deck lists. The boys.
Yeah, I can go a little bit into detail later. Let's
Yep.
first back.
If they can come back.
Yeah.
Sure.
If this counts as Martijn forfeiting the match, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I bugged him. So.
Yeah, that's what you get, right? You know all the bugs in the game, so you abuse them whatever you can to win matches.
Just a good way for an excuse, right?
Apparently, when you smash, the game breaks.
Not easily get everything. It was a quite long match.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I see you guys sweating.
Yeah. Yeah. First I was going really well. Then I had the power charger dilemma.
Yeah.
So I wasted a turn. And then Stijn just came like, I have a Phoenix every turn on the middle of the screen, so deal with it.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, this is the last part. I was like, there's only one thing left for me to do. It was like, put the Ludic Matriarchs there to get in front of his baseline. And then that way forward, hoping that Summon Militia would also spawn there. So I would have like a Tagore chance to run in.
You wanna?
But I think
Maybe
you
not.
can decide.
So they were talking about other stuff.
We have got a lot of questions, so we also paid a lot of attention to all the questions. Also to you guys, we saw a good Bladestorm action.
Nice.
There was a nice
that BS,
positioning.
right?
Yeah, it's a nice positioning where like now you get victors of the melee. He's just gone, and you're a little bit unlucky. It's a-
But you can
My
calculate it,
GF
right?
said, and basically said every time cement to say
He's not salty at all at the moment.
You can a bit anticipate card is being. Get stars, they align, know which cards your opponent has. Next time. Eat.
Let's prepare for the next match.
Yeah,
Also,
makes sense.
So let's see if we have any microphone issues. We now have MCAM back.
We have microphone issue.
Yeah, someone is complaining about it.
Yeah, no
Put on your
copper.
volume. Sorry, just kidding.
It might also be just our
There's-
voices.
There's a dropout at the end of every word is cut.
Okay, maybe check the field.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna prepare.
yeah.
Good too. So
You
the
have
next
the-
match, Shadow Fan versus
It
Swarm.
needs to be plugged in. Automatic. Shall I
Ja, maar
sit
jou
next
dus
to
geen
my
woord
desktop?
van jouw deck moeten maken.
Go ahead. Yes, that wants to be in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. First have a look at the audio stuffies.
While you look into your audio stuffies, I'll continue answering the questions from Fidget, because he has many.
Nice.
And I try to keep up. It's very hard. So, Martijn, when you're casting the next match, we have to keep answering a lot of questions
Yeah.
while paying attention to the match.
Sweet. Let's
So
do
maybe
that.
we can also borrow Stijn a little bit for for
Yeah.
all of that.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect. I'll just sit here.
Alright, I will set up the thingies.
Thing is, the magical thing is,
So that was me, so that will become
Yeah, I've remembered your last question, Fidget, about the duration of the match for every kingdom. I'll go a little bit into that when we fix the sound and he's done, and he might need to talk just to test something. I don't know. But yeah, we have a lot of data, as you know. We know exactly. We even know it because you asked, do we know it per kingdom? Yes, we know per kingdom how long on average a match takes. We even have all the data on every type of deck, and we even see the difference between aggressive decks within a kingdom and the less aggressive decks, how fast they are, how fast they win, how fast they lose, what did they lose against, and that's all data we use when balancing the cards. So there's a lot more than you see, and you could possibly see even more than we can possibly see by just playing the game, because it's just. There's so much going on, and it's not just on level 5 or rank 1. It's everywhere, and we're trying to track everything. We do track everything, but balancing the game on everything, it has its challenges, as you might have noticed. So that's also why we try to push these changes on the forums out as soon as we have something. Not as soon. We have tested them, we have discussed them, we have played with it, but at that point we just try to push it live. Also see other people's opinions, because yeah, we need to see something.
Yes.
And we keep testing meanwhile. That's why, for example, now there's also a new list of changes.
Cool. Well, before we continue with that, let's go into the next match. Let's go. Think they are ready. Start the match.
Let's see what kind of decks they've made. So we have Shadowfen versus Swarm on a pirate environment. It's nice that we have all different themes, and you guys played on a dragon environment.
It's very diverse.
It's so diverse.
In the meanwhile, I will update the names as well.
Yeah, it's not Stein and MKM playing this time, and neither are the kingdoms correct. So I'll try to look at their decks, even though it's on the other side of me. So we have a Raven Undead deck. Wow, that's special, because there's only 2 Undead. Because he has to play neutral Undead, there's only 2 cards that have that. So Harvester of Souls, very interesting choice, especially versus a Swarm deck. You can get him some very cheap cards to play. I forgot the other name. Lich Summoners, there we go.
Yeah, that's
Also
Pawns.
very good card, I think, in this matchup. So it's very interesting to see how he's. Yeah, I would say he has the advantage.
Yeah.
Also with Ravens, he can convert. He probably plays Blood
convert
Ministers.
and convert as enough value for Swarm, because Swarm is a lot of low strength cards. If it was the decks that Stein and me were playing, it would be way more difficult to convert, especially with you guys with 14 strength. You know,
Yeah,
good luck
Look at this
converting it.
smart play
You-
through so close, by the way. Very smartly played in such a way that it can't be countered. As in, it's now nicely blocking the placement of Palacabra, I guess her name is here.
Palakiwe Abra. Like the Pokemon.
Exactly. It makes it very hard. Ooh, wow. There was 0 structures in the previous match, and now we have 2 structures in 2 turns, I think.
Oh, wow.
Which do you like more? The True Shot Post, or how is it even called? I forgot the name. The Pillars of
Pillars
Doom.
of Doom. Yeah.
How can you forget?
I never played with it.
I think in this case, True Shot Post is. I would give it the advantage. I think you have so much base health, you can take the bit of hits that Pillars of Doom will do to you.
Well, he chips quite hard with 4 damage, so it only takes 5 shots and you're down.
Yeah, true.
So there's a timer now on Palacabra, which is Ceesharp. So curious what he's going to do against it. It could also be tricky for you, Martijn.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
No, but you can't freeze. You can't freeze him. So
Yeah, I will just cry in my sleep for it.
This match is already going way faster than the previous one.
Yeah, I think they're stressed out.
yeah.
We just wanted to give you casters a bit of time
Yeah, true.
to elaborate every play, but we took so long that
I'm surprised to
Feel the
see
pressure.
Devastators in this play.
There's another shot going off, so.
ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It shoots the one instead of can't even shoot the
But
structure.
it can shoot structures.
No.
I don't think so. It
No,
shoots a unit.
on a unit,
so-
right?
And that's his advantage. He keeps board control. But it is hard to deal with that. I think he's going to take another hit.
Yeah. Not much to do.
No.
I think it's smart not to place it in front of the Pillars of Doom,
Why do you think so?
because otherwise your opponent can move its units into your unit, and then you can't attack it because you have to deal with the unit in front of it first.
Makes sense. This is why you're the pro player here.
That's what they say.
But he always needs to. It always requires 2 units to move to that position.
Yeah.
So he's still there.
Proto troops.
Oh, but it's not a really good hand to have. You don't want to have Pen Heralds and Forgotten Souls at the moment in your hand.
Just
The
placing
place
that
should
in front of
probably-
the.
I would normally probably
Yeah.
play this more near the building.
And
just to
recycling.
soak a little bit of the damage.
You could always recycle, right?
And this is the power of True Shot. It
Yeah.
just keeps the board empty, keeps clearing.
But can it?
Yeah.
Yes, it can
Yeah.
kill the Pillars of Doom. So at this point, it will be.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's so much value. It's. I mean, you only need 2 in that to play this strong.
I don't think Julia's playing any board control either. So she's in a real tough situation right now.
Queen of
Yep.
Hearts. I would probably first get that Dreadfalls back in my deck because that's probably
Yeah.
one of the better pools to have. And you place 2 Satire, so Dreadfalls is a very good card there. She decides not to do it. I wonder which 2 double box.
It has good positioning, by the way.
Swarm card, yeah, with Swarm cards I would definitely have mulliganed Dreadfalls out.
Funny thing is that it's still Ceesharp has the most damage on his base.
Yes. And if Julia has some good 2 movement units, she could go for the rush and see how far she gets. I'm not sure if she has enough though. And she's running
Yeah.
Ubas. I'm surprised by Ubas though.
Yeah.
Ubas in a deck with only 2 unit types. Surprising.
Yeah. Oh, it's
But
still
it can
level
be good.
5.
Yeah, and it's 3 damage for each.
Yeah.
It
So
it
it's
could
16
theoretically
strength.
deal the last 9 bits of damage even.
Yeah.
And there we see Harvester of Souls.
First 10 strength token.
Okay. Are you going to see the U-Bot? I guess so.
Yeah.
First, or you would suggest to clear first?
Yeah, the hard thing is first mulligan, I guess. You want pen. Yeah, maybe you keep Pen Heralds just for the unit type. Because it's
Mhm.
another 3.
Yeah.
So it is basically 7 strength for 4 mana. So that is something. Yeah, Forgotten Souls doesn't do anything, so most likely you want to recycle that one.
She's in a very tough spot.
Yep, and the turn timer is getting in here.
I think I think she should have removed Forgotten Souls.
Oh.
Not lucky with the shot.
No.
Yeah, this is gonna be painful.
And yes, Ceesharp has Cluxy in his hand, but nothing to
Yeah,
prove.
you can.
He's easy
Curse
guy,
of
curse of
Strings.
strings. But I would say that's a mistake. Because,
I think at this
Did-
point
did-
he's
did-
just rolling.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
'cause
can
this-
just play around
if
with.
she has the right cards,
Bit of a victory
She-
lap right now.
Yeah,
she could clear it.
yeah, it was a good start, but I think Julia was didn't have the good
I would
correct cards to
remove
keep her
Pen
Pillars of
Heralds,
Doom safe.
Right, if you move Pen Heralds and you get nice movement, you could see how far you get.
You have 10 mana,
Yeah, exactly.
Got a good suggestion in
but you
chat.
have to.
Got a good suggestion in chat, by the way, to do a post-game poll for which game people like the most, so they can watch it and rewatch it.
Oh, nice.
Are we after this match only gonna see the finale, or also the two losing players gonna face off?
Yeah, I think we also go for Thor 3 for the third and fourth
Third
place.
and fourth place, yes. We need to know bronze.
Yep. And we need
Yes.
to have like cardboard. That's the fourth place.
Okay.
Cardboard.
I thought you were
Medal.
staying in theme with the Stormbound by saying iron or something, but no, cardboard.
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 All the way.
is-
Alright. So, that's
That was
just a
a-
match. It was a quick match.
Yeah.
A lot quicker than the previous one.
Yeah. Definitely speedy.
But yeah, coming back to Fitch's question, I do think swarm matches are on average the fastest. I think number 2 normally is, by the way, Ironclad. And winter is the slowest, but that's what you get with freeze.
There's the winner.
Welcome. Yeah, I see a happy face, so it's good. No salt there.
Well, I was stressing out at the start though, because like the Pillars of Doom was just damaging and damaging, and I couldn't get in any movement. Well,
Oh well, you survived.
I survived.
With 9 base health, so that's quite a lot. Yeah, I think you were also a bit unlucky with the cards to protect your Pillars of Doom.
Yeah.
You had a bit better card draw, and you could place units in front of it. You could
Yeah.
maybe kept it alive long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with limited unit types, you have limited resource at hand to defend
Yeah.
things easier, so it does add an interesting challenge to the game,
It
at
does.
least to this tournament.
Yep. So for now, we are planning to do the third place match.
Not the grand finale first?
No, we should enter that.
That's like the
Even in-
final, right?
Even with football, soccer, we call it football. We're European, it's football.
Yeah, we're Europeans, right?
Yeah.
But
Football, soccer.
Football, soccer. But even there, we have third and fourth place first.
Yep.
Small finale.
Are you ready?
Sure.
You can
But do you
you
have
can
the-
take a bit of rest if you want to.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Ready
Yeah,
to fight.
Ready to fight.
He's ready!
All the salt.
So much energy.
Yes, all the salt hits in the...
You like salt, right?
Ready for
Oh, this could be a very quick
Yes.
match. They both had some very quick cards. They both started their match with a lot of pressure and lost eventually. So the question is
Yeah.
now who puts the most pressure at the start? Who will then
Yeah.
lose the game?
At least they're not playing Winter Packs.
You're looking forward to the next match?
It's gonna be a long one. Ceesharp?
Oh, it might be. It might be.
Might be.
It depends.
It was quite a good match.
Yeah.
Alright, they're almost ready. They are ready. Let's go into the game.
Cardboard support.
Oh yeah, that's the fourth place.
Yeah.
Gold,
fourth place is-
silver, bronze and cardboard.
Oh,
I
right.
forgot that we had like also iron, but then cardboard came into mind.
It's because he's diamond player, he forgets all about iron.
Yeah, I only go to platinum, right? So it's hard to do. All right, let's focus on the match. Let's. I will update the board so people will know what's actually going on.
Update the cardboard.
The cardboard.
So we're playing Swarm against Ironclad, right?
Yes.
Yes. Stan doesn't have the best hand at the moment.
All right, board's updated. Let's see what's going on.
We're awaiting a your turn. That's
No, it's.
there
yeah,
we go.
it's a
There
freeze.
we
It's just
go.
some
It was a freeze.
minor hiccup.
Yep. Luckily, no groundbreaking.
So Ubas isn't moving now. So
Yeah,
As
that's
you-
weird.
yeah,
He doesn't have any movement.
No, that's the one of the changes.
that's
Oei.
the balance change.
Yeah, but
So-
he's also like not considering enemy types anymore.
No.
Which I've also noticed. Like the other game, Julia played Ubas, and he didn't really do any proper damage.
Only his own legendary unit type.
Yeah.
It means you need to set up your own board properly, and even more so now when he has no movement. because you can't use him to control the board anymore, as in you can't easily clear. So yeah, you have to. You really have to decide if is he the right choice for you at that moment. He can still win you the games. I think slow decks can still use him as they have used him so far, but he's far less aggressive because he does have the movement.
Yeah.
And for winter, with the change to Gift of the Wise, let's see how it turns out.
Yeah, and it's also less punishing for the opponent. Like someone could punish you with Ubas. Like if you have a lot of unit types,
Yeah.
you would get punished for it.
Yeah, basically you are almost winning, and then he plays Ubas and gets 3 shots of 3 damage because you have a lot of units on board and are in a winning position.
Yeah.
And you have like so much comeback already, when it's also really good at being aggressive at the same time.
Julia is already thinking.
Both got a bit of chip damage. I think Stijn has a nice small lead at the moment with his debug loggers on Julia's baseline, 10 strength.
I guess Forgotten Souls has not much value in her hands.
If she gets like
She
Broken
needs
Truths,
Broken Truths, I think
like
that's
completely board clear.
Just, yeah.
She needs to get rid of
Ben
Forgotten
Heralds.
Souls. Or
What do you
Pen
think about
Heralds.
Queen
Yeah, one of the two.
Queen of Hearts in the top right corner?
It could be.
Like she has double bucks, she can maybe recycle Dread Funds as
Yeah.
well back into her deck. Because maybe you just need to take the damage, right?
Maybe. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I agree on that.
Yeah.
And then
And
clear it
Forgotten
with
Souls, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
losing 10 HP is quite a lot.
And there
That's
it
a lot.
is. Now she has it.
Yeah.
One turn too late.
Yep.
Well, maybe she will need it now as well.
Stein has no buffs in his hand, but can he?
Green prototype should heal the enemy base.
Get confinement in his hand.
She is gonna need Broken Truth.
Yep.
For sure. It's her only option.
Does green prototypes heal the enemy base?
No,
No, it doesn't.
only opponent's units. And if it equalizes with 5 strength versus 5 strength, then
Interesting tactic.
you don't get any buff.
Playing the pillars there and taking full damage of all
Yeah.
the units.
And the structure doesn't get healed by green prototypes either. So it's like
Terrific Slayers. He's a he's gonna do it.
yes,
Quick win. He doesn't
that's a
want
pure
to.
movement, right? Maybe he doesn't know. I don't think Stijn has a lot of experience with Terrific Slayers.
True. There he goes.
Oh, he wasn't
There
just
he
BMing.
goes.
Oh, that's quick.
That was a very quick win. I think the Pillars of Doom was a misplay there, though. A small misplay. But maybe a risk that was worth taking.
Yeah.
It can soak a lot of damage, and it could
It
be the
ate,
way to turn around.
Yeah.
It had 8 strength, right?
I think the Satyr deck has one big problem though, is that it kind of lacks movement. Like
Yeah.
movement is so essential to this game, and that's like very hard about playing a Satyr deck.
Yeah, that's true. We have been discussing that with Stijn, who didn't pick a Swarm when he was given the option to pick a Kingdom. But we expected a Swarm deck to be around Undead and Pirates, which I think is a very interesting combination.
And very traditional.
It's very traditional. We both used to play the deck a lot in the early days of the
First
game.
season, yeah.
And because that's something interesting, has a lot of movement, can play a lot of cards, can get things very cheap on the board, with Herald Sim combination,
Yeah.
very strong options.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to, when I build decks, I tend to forget movement and how vital it actually is for the game. So what I kind of I learned myself to kind of deduct everything to the amount of units something is worth, and one step of movement for me is worth 2 units. Somehow that's my equation in my head. And that's how I kind of think about it, and I kind of that reflects in the balancing as well, right? If it doesn't have movement, it has more units.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
For
always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, moving is so important in this game.
Yeah.
It allows you to trade. Without movement, there's no trading.
And you can run into someone's base if you have 2 movement cards.
Exactly. Or, as Stein showed, you can block somebody's entire front line with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
very
ballsy move.
Classic.
Yeah.
Very
You were so
classic.
unlucky with your broken truce, though. You got it
Yeah.
1 turn too late.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
you would have just destroyed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah. So
You're
that-
not salty about winning?
No.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you did better than last time because now you're not last.
Well, I did worse than last time because now I'm third and not second.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends how you look at it, right?
Yeah.
And we have another match incoming: Winter versus Shadowfan.
Yeah.
Do you have any words for me
Do you
to make me share?
That you're gonna lose?
What?
Ooh.
Uncalled for.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wonder
will see.
what does Chet think? Who's gonna win?
Yeah.
Place your
MKM's,
bets.
yeah, place bets. Well, we have MKM's winter deck with
Yep.
Frostlings and Dragons. And Ceesharp's Shadowfan deck with Ravens and Undead.
I think the dragon deck is going to win because I tried to kind of counter the dragon deck and failed. So I put my money on the dragon deck.
High five.
One thing I learned from YouTube is don't do high fives on stream.
Alright.
Because if you fail, you will be remembered forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
So
This was the
we're not
last high
gonna-
five ever, by the way.
Yeah, we're not gonna high five, but I do think you have a good chance of beating him. I think you have a really good deck. I think it's
Yeah.
I think it can generate a lot of value.
Yeah. I'm
Which
happy that I don't have
especially
to.
the-
Steal a lot of value.
Steal a
That's what I'm
lot of
going
value.
for.
Yeah.
He will steal your freezing cards and freeze all your deck too.
Yeah.
I will just run my Tego in his base. I'm actually happy that I don't have to play against Swarm. Because I think Swarm was the best pick against my deck. With the Pillars of Doom. Because I don't think of the Pillars of Doom I can easily counter.
Yeah, you can't freeze Pillars of Doom.
Yeah, I can only Tegor it. But then I have to be on your opponent's baseline and my deck isn't the fastest one.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that I can fight against the Shadowfan. But it's gonna be...
Well, let's get ready to run.
Yep.
It's a nice comment here about draining them dry. I wonder, do you have Witches of the Wild in your deck?
Yeah, of course I am.
Nice. Because that's good, because I can't remember it from last match, because Witch of the Wild now drains free.
I played it
At
on the
max
first
level.
turn where I couldn't drain anything.
Oh, yeah. So the drain free, that can be
Do you know
so
what
painful.
Buttons to
I
press?
know I have to press a magical button here,
Okay.
which I will do once the match is at least underway a little bit. At least when we see the challenge has started. Let's see if it's this easy. Ooh, it's this easy. Look at that. They set it up so nicely for us. We both have never done this before.
Press
We
the
were
button.
hoping that, I was actually hoping you would be in the finale, because then that would mean that one of the two would still be sitting here with all their experience.
Oh, but there
Oh,
are
it was-
other stuff that we need to fix.
Oh no. MKM is trying to. No, it's good. It's all
Yeah, I'm
good.
gonna update the...
Update me.
Maybe
No?
The shizzle.
questions.
Dubious hacks can get a boost to dropping a free strength raven for enemy, so that they pair better. Well, that is a funny question. But that would only work. It's very awkward if you have only leveled one of them, because then it wouldn't count like that. So the free strength is mostly meant to against the enemy. And yeah, I mean, if you drain 1 or 3 from the enemy, yeah, I guess draining 3 is in this case would be better, because you also make a Witch of the Wild stronger. But no, that one is not a consideration. I would think that if Dubious Hex becomes starts spawning a free strength ravens, also her own strength should go up in case you don't have the counter for it, or don't have witches for it. You
I
hear a
was,
lo-
I
you-
was just-
you hear a lot of cards that you don't know,
No,
I guess.
but I was also kind of zoned out.
No problem. I
Thinking
saw
about
a
something
half
else.
zombie looking at me, but maybe that's because you just played Undead.
Ah,
So there were the zombies There we go. I hope they're ready now. I hope the batteries are ready. Because the battle cries are going around the office. Let's hope they press equal levels in this current levels.
Yes.
Swarm, nice. So you are still a little bit in there with your swarm.
Yeah, I'm still, my salt is still in there.
A lot of salt, I think. Yeah. And let's see what the opening ends are.
A lot of emotes.
Oh yeah, these are the two emote kings of the office. So I think every turn you will see at least 3.
They're doing like they try to match their emotes. Oh, there you go. First minion to be played, Hex of course.
Witches of the Wild with no value. Well, drain doesn't do much if there's nothing to drain.
Well,
It's still
a
5 strength.
psychological victory of
playing something.
yes, I guess. Scare tactics.
I played something, now you have to do so as well.
Scare tactics. They're
this
not
is-
called scarecrow for nothing.
This is a very smart placement because now, in the because in the next turn he knows it will attack the raven. So playing any raven now is dangerous. But it doesn't look like Ceesharp has many other options actually. So it's very smart play.
Let's see what he can come up to.
Well,
I think he
maybe
just
he
goes
can
to
play the non.
spawn as many enemies as possible.
Yeah, I think so.
Immediate value.
It's
for IPM.
I think it's the only card both of them have in their deck. It's Summon Militia.
No.
So that's also nice about this setup. It really limits because you have limited playstyle options. You also get a lot of unique decks, unique cards. I think there's only a few cards that are used in multiple decks. Oh,
Emojis. Yay.
yeah, they keep coming with the emojis. Yeah, what's so nice about so something that's good to remember about Summon Militia, and I hope MCAM isn't listening now. Because it can be used against him, because it is a token unit. So that can be a very cheap unit to copy and get to your deck. Because then you get 10 strength, 0 cost units
That's
with 1 movement. Yeah, that's. I think it's probably one of the strongest he can get.
That's pretty strong, yeah.
A 10 strength Tagor, I would think is also pretty strong.
Oh wow, he's taking the lead.
Wow. Daily
Yeah,
gold.
he's going to clear the board now. I guess.
I think
Clear
so.
some of it with the frost combo. I guess.
Yeah, but how? He has no board, and he doesn't have much mana, so it's going to be very difficult. I think you're going to play the Drakes. They do 3 damage now after the update. All these updates you see in this in this deck. I think this is a good play.
It works. Yeah, one thing that
that's a
MCAM
very nice spawn of the Raven.
that's true.
Nicely cancels it out. To quickly answer Fidget, the gold cap on our server is the same as live, so it's 200. But if we need the gold, we can just cheat it. As I said, cheats for us are enabled on these servers, so we never have to keep playing just to get gold. We can just give ourselves the gold if we ever need it. Also, that might also be how we got these cards all to level 5, because we have these cheats and we can change our data. So it's for us a lot faster to do it like that, so we're not bothered by gold caps at all. These servers.
Oh, nice. Very lucky with the Gift of the Wise. Now he can get his board clear off. And Martijn was definitely looking to kind of gain control of the match again.
Yeah.
And now he can do that. He was very lucky with that.
12 mana. good
He's,
options.
He's not thinking if he's going to clear the board, but how he's going to do it, I
Yeah,
guess.
but I don't think he can do it without Tagore, or do I miss something? Is he
Oh, really? Well, that,
that's surprising, because
well, that's
so he
why-
frees it behind him? I'm surprised. I would have expected him to clear the board. But
Right.
yeah, differently. But yeah, this is maybe better way to clear the board.
That's
Gets
why
the
he's-
most value out of all his cards. This is a true diamond player.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how often he plays Winter. He plays everything, right? He plays everything on stream.
Super
Not sure what
fun
his
to-
favorite is. Sorry?
It's super fun to watch him play on stream.
Yeah.
Takes on different challenges and stuff. Oh, that's a nice play.
With a curse of strings.
Well, to get the takeover, that's very
I
nice.
see. I think he's setting a trap as well. I think he's. I think he wants to use his blood measures at some point there,
Hmm.
So- because it can convert a lot of those units.
the-
They're nicely next to each other.
What's the cap now?
What it converts?
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard. I'm not playing on max level. I think it's 7. I don't
Hmm.
really know. So he first needs to clear the unit in the middle there. So he needs to see how he can get rid of that. Also, this could. I think also next turn I would expect a two-shot post can be very strong. Because it can place it such a way to keep the control on the board, and MCAM can't clear it unless he placed on a very smart spot.
Choices.
Feral Shamans is also a very, very good option to keep. A lot of units are stronger in this setup, so
Yeah, he's definitely setting up for the blood ministers there.
yeah.
Oh, another
Ah,
gift
another
of the
gift
wise.
of
Yeah,
the
that's just
wise.
a because of the additional card. It's just
Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. But
he's not
I
getting rid of the two-shot post. I guess.
I know Ludic Matriarchs, that's gonna weaken his Arano so much. And do his first bit of damage. We hear the first cries here.
But he is going to play the blood ministers now. Where is he?
I don't know. Blood Misters can be very strong, but does it generate enough value on this board? And I'm not sure. Does he
Well-
have a good? He needs his Witch of the Wild again to drain. I think it's one of his few area of effect cards that can deal with a board this big.
Hmm. He's
But if
finally
you take-
drawing the Harvester of Souls right now. I think I haven't seen that during the match.
And now you see the weakness of cards like Ludic Matriarchs or things that spawn things on the same row, because it's hard for MCAM now to advance, to do any kind of clearing, which does keep True Shot Post alive.
That is correct.
And every turn it's alive, it basically just keeps getting more and more value.
There is a small window of opportunity for Ariane.
Yeah, I think he's hoping for a very lucky Blood Ministers at some point. Blood Ministers can really be used to turn the match around.
He needs some mass removal, yeah. Let's see.
That is a very, very good card there. I think he would have preferred if they just died with
Yeah.
two stranded. It would have been a perfect location. And he misses units, a unit with 2 movement. 2 movement could have gotten that 1 step forward, so he can get control over more units. Now he's just kind of blocking himself as well. But maybe with conflicted drakes, he can actually.
You need to play that anyway.
Oh wait, no, sorry, I forgot. Conflicted drakes only works on dragons, of course.
Oh,
Still plays
yeah.
it on 10 strength.
And all of MKM's units are dragons.
Yeah. Yes. When he was playing you, I didn't see that many dragons. It felt like a deck with some dragons. But there's a lot of dragons now, and no dangerous suitors to abuse it.
Nope.
So slowly going over Fidget's questions once more. Yeah, they keep coming. So how long do you play a change before deciding you want to keep it? It depends. It's very hard to say. So the closer we are to actually releasing it, the faster we do the cycles, the more we play, the more we test, and the faster we go. So I mean, it's hard to really count this entire period because we're thinking about the card balance changes. Well, as soon as the previous update came out, and even before the previous update came out, we have some cards. You have to imagine that we look at cards that we think really need changing and that are either positively or negatively. But some cards are like these might just push to becoming that they also need a buff or a
Going to
nerf.
be a big Blood Ministers play, by the way. Kind of, hopefully.
Yeah, you should.
Sorry for breaking you, but
Yeah, it's
the
no problem.
anticipation of this match has
Yeah.
been this moment, so.
This one moment. There we go. So yeah, I would say the balancing takes, well, at least a month. Playing and testing themselves. It depends on how many cards we change. So I think the big one that happened 2 months ago took a lot longer, while this one lasts for, I think, 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. So it often starts with small changes to some key cards and see how those work. Then we slowly add more and more, see if they have the desired effects. And as you could see from the release notes that we sent today, and you compare them to the previous one, you see we can go over it very quickly, and things can change very quickly, very rapidly. Just because if we change one thing, it's sometimes just like a domino effect where doing one change results in more on other cards. Wow, that's a big board.
But the two shots post is still standing, so
Proud.
proud. And he has another one in his hand, so who knows? We might see two. There you go. And then he's playing the Curse of Strings on this one.
Just to get his front line more to the back then, or
I
no?
think.
No, he picks the strongest units after all. I wonder what he's going to use the Harvester of Souls on.
I think he hasn't used it so far, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure what a good card would be.
No. Oh.
Dagger would be nice, but it's often hard to trigger. It
And
would
these
most
are-
often be used to.
Nothing to freeze for MKM, so.
I think he's going to go for face damage. He's going to run into the base. I think one more hit, he's so close.
Yeah, you can afford it.
Maybe hope to.
Yeah, and then conflicted
Kill it.
tricks. He can play basically every card in his hand, so.
Yeah. And now.
But he is giving.
Yeah, but it might be hoping for dealing damage, and that would kill the unit. No, it's buffing.
So, small window of opportunity. Let's see if he can utilize it. Doesn't look like it. Double post go off. Always nice. Well, there are some options there.
sure if that's a smart position of. He could have gotten more value out of witches.
He is thinking about. He's in survival mode.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
that's not a very good hand
No.
for MKM.
No real way to flood the board.
No, it's probably. I do expect a frost. Yeah, the frost
Yeah.
exit and kill the units.
He will clear it. It's true.
You shouldn't forget that. Yeah,
No.
the last unit over there. Nice.
He got another tower shot. That tower is so valuable. For
Yeah,
Ceesharp.
it's been on the board since turn 2 or 3, or it was long time.
Oh, and Blood
Ooh.
Ministers. Nice.
If he combines it with Harvester of Souls, move one forward extra. Then he can convert 2 of those units.
Yeah. Let's see if
I would
he's-
normally combine it with Harvester of Souls, placed in front of the 4. Doesn't.
He doesn't.
He decides not to do it. Or
Probably has good reasons to do so.
but he placed it on the spot where I would have placed it anyway, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure about that. He probably overlooked it.
Or maybe
Oh.
he just wants a strong backline like this. Like impenetrable.
That is true. It is hard to. He might have done this to stop the Tegra from going straight to the base.
No.
No, he would have had the Harvester of Souls there to soak that bit of damage. But yeah, it's probably very defensively played there. But maybe that's the best option in this case. MKM played his good A-week clear last turn.
There is Tegar. There you go.
Yeah, but it's not enough, I think. It's hard to see the values on these small screens, but I think Tegra always loses too much health to do the last bit of damage.
He's just going for the big plays.
There we go.
Oh, that's just gut wrenching to see him blink an eye and then he's not playing Tegar. He's keeping it for later.
Yeah,
it's
it's
probably
his win.
smartest.
He wants to keep it for the win.
Yeah. Just in a blink of an eye, the entire board is full with those little dragon links again. So.
So it's nice you mentioned the suicide deconstruction option to any cards on the board. Yeah, it's an interaction that we need to add. So normally it's something we added to some cards. As you might know,
There is the win, by the way. for,
there's the win.
Is it? Yeah. What else? Right? 6
No,
damage
man.
for the Tegar.
Yeah, and there's 2 remaining, I think. It's
Yeah,
such small
The
difference.
victory lap.
There you go.
Undefeated.
Well played. So
Living
those
up.
who said winter would win next time.
I did win something today.
In the end, we're all winners.
That's
Yeah, that's true.
We're all friends.
but living up to his
Yeah,
reputation, undefeated on his own stream.
Ah man, what a game.
and he's the one with the most experience on level 5 decks
Yep, yeah.
with his diamond.
You can make commercials for the brand.
I don't know. Good on the backside. I'm just thirsty. Do so much sweat against Ceesharp.
Yeah, I felt like I never actually had board control, so I felt that was my biggest problem with that deck, just zero control.
Yeah, but you had a lot of big plays as well. I was like, especially at the beginning, I was like, oh no, this is not gonna end at like it's 10.
And your
It's just like so much hardship at the beginning until I can take a bit of control.
your true shot got so much value during that game. It felt so much.
That's what I
Still,
said,
it
right?
wasn't enough.
If I fight against a structure, I will just
just cry in my sleep because I cannot deal with any structures. And if it was the Pillars of Doom, it was just chipped away my base.
You should give these structures a counter of how much stuff they actually did. Like how much units did they produce, how much damage did they do. That would be pretty cool to see.
Oh, to see.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said like you wanted to say like they should be limited in how much.
No, just to see how
to
much
see.
damage or true shot bows did. Would be actually quite fun.
It was 4 mana. It got like 12 mana value. Well, in your case, you got like 15 mana
Yeah.
of the value there.
Yeah, I'm like with Ludic Matriarchs, I don't care. I
Yeah.
will just spam the board with tokens and they will soak everything up.
Yeah, but I should have just gotten two of those true shot posts. I mean,
Yeah.
that would have given me the upper hand, I think.
Yeah. And in the end, the structure was your downfall as well. Because at the beginning it's really good to put it in your own baseline.
Yeah.
But at the end I was just like, you're 4 health. This structure is gonna be just like, I just wait for a Wisp Cloud.
Yeah.
I didn't play my Tagor in the previous
That was
turn.
smart.
Because I was like, well, I got my Savannah at that position.
Mm.
Like, and hopefully he just, if he has Convert, because I thought Convert is back in your carousel and back in your hand.
Yeah.
It's like, hopefully he will just take the biggest one. So my Savannah can walk in front of your baseline,
The front line,
and the Wisp
yeah.
Cloud can soak up 4 or 5 damage, and then my Tagor can do the rest. And I was like, because if not, I don't know, it will be going on much further.
Yeah, I was just being a bit reckless.
Yeah. But you also want to make moves to win, right?
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, we would have just kept on the defense and not doing anything
Yeah.
at all.
I don't have a lot of units that can counter a 12 strength unit on my baseline. I can use my Tagor, but then I have to wait 3 turns until he's back in my hand.
Yep.
And then you have enough turns again to build up your defenses for it.
Was fun though.
Yeah, it was a really good match.
So if you would have made would be able to make a change to your Shadowfen deck,
Would have taken the dragons.
you would have taken that.
You're Cordia, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
I expected Shadowfen dragons, yes, for sure.
Yeah, but I wanted to make a unique deck. basically.
Yeah, I just,
I
Yes,
think
we
that-
all
I
want
like
to
it.
make unique decks.
yeah.
Decks for fun, not just to win.
Yeah, that's what I did, right?
I think the gift of the wise is just so much value. Like additional card, so much
Yeah.
mana. It's just like you get 2 turns.
What do you think about the new Gift of the
It's
Wise
interesting.
balance changes? At 7 mana and level 5. Still pretty good, obviously, because you get a bit of mana and you get a card draw. Now we've seen it in action.
I think the additional card is what makes it so strong because you don't lose anything for playing it.
yeah, that's correct.
At the beginning, I was
downside
like-
compared to the current version. So let's go. For me, it's easiest to compare to the current version. The downside is that you can only play it on turn 7, so it will take a bit longer. So you need something to survive, and I think in the format we play today, all decks will by default be a bit slower because you have limited options. It's hard to make a real
Yeah.
rush deck, so you're going to be a bit slower. So you first have to reach that 7 mana to actually get the value out of it, and you also need to get the good cards.
Yep.
Because don't forget, at turn 7, 12 mana, it's a lot to spend. But I mean, if you want to play all your cards, they're like 3 mana cost cards, so yeah, you can have a pretty decent deck to get those cards out of there. Currently, you can already play it on turn 5, which is a lot earlier, and then you get 9 value, no card drop, but 9 value on turn 5 is a lot.
No.
So I think value-wise, it's comparable. It just pushes more to the late game and pushes Winter a little bit more to the control side of things. And together with the Ubas change and some other changes in the game, I
Yeah.
hope it balances things out.
Not to forget that you can use Gift of the Wise with neutral kind of decks. Like you can make a neutral rush deck with Gift of the Wise. So that's what you are trying to avoid, right?
Yes, that's kind of, yeah. It's hard to test in the format we do now, but normally it is the most used deck, let's say like that, or at least on higher levels, on lower levels. Yeah, we have some nice tools. So when we do the balancing, we check all types of decks. We check all types of stats. It's really good to see that on lower levels, it's very, very very diverse.
Well distributed.
Well distributed. maybe not amongst all cards, so that's why we still try to do some of these changes, but all kingdoms are equally good and bad at the same time. We have a nice list where we see the win rates. Well, it's like a big color scheme, like it's all over the place, so that's good. Even even pure, there's even some pure neutral decks which are doing pretty okay. So not a single kingdom card. We really call them neutral, even though you have selected kingdom.
Switzerland strategy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Undecided.
On higher levels, there's more tendency to winter, and then especially the Gift of the Wise, Ubas, and lots of neutral cheap cards. Swarm is always popular, but it's also because it's very quick. It seems to be very popular, but the win rates are okay. So it's just very popular because it's quick. It's a quick way to get your first win of the day, let's say like that.
But they don't have a lot of epics and legendaries that like are actually really needed to make the archetype of the satire.
That's correct.
Because if you go for freeze with dragons for winter pack, we need savannas and all those kind of cards. It's like already a legendary,
Yeah.
so that's a bit more expensive. And if you want Raven, Shadow Fan, you go for Toxic Ministers. It's also an epic.
Blood Ministers to be precise, but that's a
True words.
before we
Very
get any
toxic for some
confusion.
people.
Yeah. Some people just go mad.
It's like a merge of two other cards.
Yeah, it's late, right? I'm on the high of it.
On play destroys itself and
Yeah. Spawn a Phoenix at your own base. Like what?
would be amazing. Oh
This goes
yeah.
bad. Are there any questions in the chat so far?
Any dragon cards? Any new dragon cards?
Are there any new dragon cards on the horizon?
It's hard to tell, right? That's
usually
designers.
It's up to the designer. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, we're
So
looking
we're not allowed to say anything about what we're going to do in the future. I was strictly told so by Stijn. No,
Shit's
no.
going hot right now.
No.
Yeah, but you just have to wait and see, right?
Wait and see. Yeah.
Because soon the anniversary, so let's see
Anniversary's
what's
first.
going on for that, and then, well, if you want to see what's going on, just keep playing Stormbound,
Yeah.
get in the loop, and
Yeah, so we're now mostly focused on the anniversary, right? At least that's the first thing you guys will see. So yes, the balance changes, DFT event. You'll see what else you will be along with the event.
Yep.
Some people wanted some cool discount in the shop, so you'll get that too. And another small change is we have increased some of the end of season chests slightly, so be sure you still have a couple of weeks to maybe go up a little bit more to get better chests, especially on the higher ranks. They're increased. The lower ones are
Nice.
as they were.
get all the goodies.
Get the goodies.
By the way,
Fix-
what's your favorite drink?
Elixir strength?
Boosting
Potion of
elixir,
growth,
of course.
yeah.
I'm the boosting elixir guy.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't need to grow anymore. Otherwise, I cannot sleep in my own bed. It's pretty awkward.
That's a cool idea of the dragon structure to use 1 damage to all non-dragon units.
Quite
I
thematic.
like it. Yeah, we actually have so we have a very big list of ideas of cards. I mean, before we actually added the dragons, we have a big list of cool dragon ideas that we were just trying playing with. And yes, we also used to have dragon structures. At the moment, there's only 1 dragon structure, which is the axe.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yes, we do see it as a structure, though it's not one you can actually play.
You play it indirectly.
I
You played
guess
3
so, I
structures
guess
at the
so.
same time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's value.
Yeah.
it's insane value.
Yeah.
And yes, if you play Harvest of Souls, it would have been cool if you would, if you would have played.
Copy structures.
No, you can copy Dr. Mia, and then you can trigger their effect. With Dr. Mia, yes, it can trigger the effect of the axe.
Oh yeah, you can
Oh.
hatch them immediately.
Yes, you can actually
That's
immediately,
possible.
but yes, you need a card from a different kingdom, so it is
I've
very
never
hard to
seen
do.
that before, but it's gonna be something I'm gonna
Yeah.
Next time
Someone
we should
should
just
try
have
that
cross
out.
kingdom decks.
do. Yeah.
Like we can cheat cross kingdom decks on our
Yeah.
test server.
Next time we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Oh, that's cool.
If you guys
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
cross kingdom matches.
Please
That's
show
going
the
to
comments
be-
or in the
That's
chat
going
right
to be
now.
broken.
And then no neutrals allowed, only cross kingdom.
Yeah.
That's going to be
Legendary only decks.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Legendary
insane.
only.
No, I actually want
But
to
it's a
put
doable
the eggs
one,
in my
not-
deck with Dr. Mia.
Yeah. Yeah. You can even, yeah, that's already your deck, right?
Yeah.
Because there's never enough legendaries to make a complete, legitimate, full legendary deck. Because you
Ah, well,
always
that's
need
not
multiple
be not
kingdom
legitimate
cards.
then.
So we're gonna be legitimate. Yeah, difficult word.
Yeah. Difficult
After
word.
drinking water.
Yep.
Go home, Jens, you're drunk.
Alright.
Oh, poor me.
I think we should also wrap it up, right?
I think so. I think we had some
Yes.
good matches.
Anyone
I
have someone
disagree.
last thing to say before
Thanks for having us.
you're welcome?
Thanks for the questions.
Thanks
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
questions.
That was fun.
Yeah,
really
I think it's a
good.
big improvement compared to the previous times where we were a bit too focused on the matches that we just forget that there are also people watching.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we now forget that people were actually playing while asking
Oh, well.
questions.
I would think we'll definitely do the third one, and then we'll just do it perfectly. Everything goes smooth, no problems, no issues. We start on
Microphone,
time.
yeah.
It's a learning process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything just breaks before we start
Oh, yeah.
setting this up. Like
Yeah.
never things happen as you want to, but I think it's a good thing. 'Cause then you will become stronger
That's true.
Older.
Yeah.
Challenges.
and older,
Wiser.
wiser, more rimples,
More boring.
more boring, more waiting for people. Like, hey, it started at
Boring
7. I don't
It
know.
was nice to hear the screams in the back.
Yeah,
It was too bad that you guys were listening to us when we were casting. So it was like, oh, yes, blood ministers. Oh, yes, blood ministers.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward.
Yeah.
I don't try to listen to it.
Yeah,
but
but
I don't.
Cam
I
is
think
cheating.
subconsciously, you will take it up.
Mm.
Next time we're gonna make it harder for
Yeah.
Cam to win. He's
We
gonna
just
have a
do
bigger
some,
disadvantage.
Cheers.
Next time you can just play with one hand.
He has
Yeah.
to play with oven mitts on. He has to play with oven mitts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Or I need to put a power cable every time. Every time I need to play a turn, I need to get a new power cable to charge the device.
Is
Yeah.
that what roping means?
Yep.
You're always on a cable?
I'm always on the cable. Ba-dum.
Like just turn time to like 15 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what developers did to punish me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like player ID is MKM, or they have like the face cam, and the camera sees my face recognition.
Yeah, we built that feature.
Yeah, just to like give me 10 less seconds. Yeah, it's horrible. What to do?
Nice.
But I think that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
Hope you
Yeah.
enjoyed the matches so far. For the people watching it on YouTube, feel free to comment and give suggestions, and or you can continue asking questions right there, and I will do my best to answer them as well.
Yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
comment and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitch.
Shout out to
Maybe you can even become a subscriber someday soon.
So shout out to the community to making the 1 year anniversary actually happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
awesome.
Really nice to see all the involvement of everyone.
Yeah,
Really
without
good,
you
really
guys,
cool.
this won't be here.
Nope.
So that's super great for all the people watching right now, the people on YouTube, Reddit, and Discord, obviously, where a lot of active community is still participating. And I think now I don't have anything to say anymore, so let's just shut off the stream and see you guys later, because I think in a month or so we will just do this again. And we have some really nice ideas about no kingdom restrictions.
Yeah, let's do some chaos next
Yeah.
Chaos decks.
Chaos tour.
Chaos
Yeah.
decks,
Oh,
yeah.
We're gonna prepare.
Yep.
Cool.
Alright, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.